Good day and welcome to another episode of the Garden of Hope, where we teach you how to grow your own food and use it in everyday life so that you can become more self-sustainable in your lifestyle. So today we're going to look at how to grow strawberries at home, and we're going to give you a few helpful tips to grow nice and healthy strawberries. So one of the first things that you need to consider when planting strawberries is to pick the perfect location. Alright, so strawberries like full sunshine area. Alright, so as you can see, they are thriving very well here in full sunshine. They tend to prefer a more acidic soil, so you can buy some acidic compost at your local nursery and work that into your topsoil, or you can use old orange peels that you can also just work into your compost heap. That will also tend to help to make the compost a little bit more acidic. All right, so your strawberries also like well-drained soil. Okay, so they don't want soil that gets too wet because that can lead to other diseases. So they want well-drained soil. So always make sure that you've got enough compost in your soil so that there is enough drainage when you water your plants. Make sure that you don't plant your strawberries in beds where you've grown tomatoes or potatoes, because these plants are susceptible to those fungal diseases which are easily carried over to your strawberries. And that's one way that you can also keep your strawberries nice and healthy. Okay, for step 2, when you transplant your strawberries, you can look for the shoots that begin to shoot off from your main plant. You'll see that it begins to make these shoots and then it forms these little new plants with roots in it. So you can just cut it off, and then you can find your next space where you plant them. Now, preferably, it's estimated to plant them about 50 centimeters apart, but as you can see, naturally they just begin to spread themselves out. So to keep them healthy, you can thin them out a little bit as you go in this type of way, and then you can just plant them a little bit further apart or in containers. So when you transplant, make sure, you can come a little bit closer, you can see that there where your hole is, make sure the ground's nice and loose, that this is what they refer to as the crown. So you don't want to bury your crown. So you just want to gently pat it down like that. As you can see, the crown is still above the surface. So that's the correct way to plant it. Then you can immediately water your strawberry, and remember, keep the soil nice and moist. The way that you can also look for it is just to put your finger in, and when your finger comes out dirty, it means that there's enough moisture in the soil. If it comes out completely dry, then it means that your soil is dehydrated, so you need to add water. So you can regularly add water. Please make sure that you don't wet the leaves of your plants, because this can also lead to infections. It can lead to diseases. Then the best way is, this is just as an example, you can use some form of covering, either mulch, grass clippings or whatever, to cover. Obviously it will need a bit more than that, but this is just to show you in the video that you can cover, which also helps to keep the soil nice and moist and to prevent any weeds from germinating and growing. Alright, and always make sure that your soil is well drained. If you plant it in containers, make sure that the container that you plant your strawberries in is also well drained, that it has enough drainage. So there's a few helpful tips for growing strawberries at home. If you apply these tips, you should have healthy strawberries like these. Thanks for watching.